see how it goes. So I'm going to do like a nice little introduction of the swing to begin. And you guys both have swings, which is really great because you've already been playing and experimenting. So I'm not going to spend as much time going over the equipment, but as you can see, we have 2 daisy chains that have been extended from the ceiling. We have the handholds, leg loops, and the knee fabric. Super stretchy, so that's something you have to get used to. Something Sam and I were just discussing was that the swings stretch out, you probably noticed. And just like a pair of jeans or an old sweatshirt, when you wash them, they'll get tight again. So wash them and dry them. Try not to use fabric softener. I found if I use fabric softener, it makes it more lax. You see what I mean? It'll stay nice and tight if you like that. The swing by not using fabric softener on it. So the swings were made to really be supportive, particularly for backbends and inversions. So I'm mainly interested in allowing people to go deeper into their yoga practice and in accessing poses that would be inaccessible to them without the support of the swing. So even in lunges, when you have the swing underneath you, it helps you keep that alignment in that posture. So every pose we do has this initiate of a back bend included in it. And so if you have knee issues, lower back issues, neck issues, the swing tends to be incredibly supportive and helpful for those kind of things. So that's already included, is back bends and inversions for sure. Sam, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to put out a request, like you were mentioning, having to be a therapeutics-oriented class today.
Yes.
And so in addition to targeting for lots of sitting, which is awesome, I have a couple clients who are having some major like shoulder impingement, abduction issues, and it radiates into their neck.
Great.
So if you could, as we go, like maybe just give some modifications, or with that in mind of like caring for the neck and what to do if somebody's shoulder can't rotate out so much.
Now, were you having problems with them in the swing or just in life?
In life.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we haven't done that much swing work, just a snippet of it,
Yeah.
but they're
great.
really hesitant, so I wanted to have some.
No, that's great. We do a lot of that tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow when we do, so today in the basic training is very gentle, therapeutics. It's also like an introduction, so we're more doing restorative practices. Tomorrow we get into more dynamic strengthening, inversions, how to use the swing. When I do this strengthening, dynamic strengthening, I do a lot of shoulder work with people, but there's some things today that I'll show you that are really great. I do these with every client, even if they don't have shoulder injury, it helps prevent injury. Neck and shoulders and the whole front of the spine, the sitting, driving computer stuff is a chronic situation that we're dealing with, right? So you guys, there is a manual that we can go over and use. We're not going to do so much sitting and writing today since we're focusing on individual practices. But there is a manual available. It's $40 for the manual. You can take it home, and that'll be a nice review of what we're doing. You also get an electronic copy. And then I have a basic outline I'm going to follow for today. We'll get through as much as we get through. If we get through everything, great. If not, no problem. We'll go over it in the workshop. Today the workshop is, Kristen was just asking, the workshop is an introduction to the swing for all levels. So people who've never even been in the swing will probably show up, as well as people that have tried it before. So I start out at the very beginning of basic, and then we build up to more intermediate and advanced. In every workshop, we kind of bring people up, and then we end with a nice long shavasana. I like to spend about a half hour in the swing, going through like a guided meditation, cocooning, like a rebirthing process of allowing the body to fully integrate all the information that they've experienced. The thing that I like to really start out with is the swing is very powerful. And even though it's just fabric hanging from 2 points, the way that I have designed and created the program is particularly restorative and therapeutic for the lymphatic system, the endocrine system, opening up the whole nervous system. All the circulatory systems get affected. So you might get a massive detoxing, which happens. So if you feel woozy or dizzy or headachy, that's that's actually good. You're getting like a free cleanse. But we always take it nice and slow. And we're going to get in the swing and put the swing behind our back and sit straight down. We're going to walk our feet out to a sumo squat, which is 45 degrees. And I'm going to turn around and show you guys exactly what I mean here so it makes sense. So when I put the swing behind my back, I don't want it up underneath my armpits. I want to bring it down below the bra line. And that way when I sit down, I use my forearms to press, and then it's going to hook it into place. So we are going to learn the anchors and the hooks and different holds in order to use the swing in a comfortable position. As soon as the shoulders come up to the ears and the swing slides up really high, it's really uncomfortable. Okay? So we're going to start by getting the swing nice and low and then use the forearm press. You guys see what I'm talking about? Okay? So after we get the forearm press, you can actually see it's going to hook the wings. That looks great, guys. Okay? And if for any reason, if it starts to ride up, which happens, we're going to press our legs straight, keep them wide, press your forearms in, let the swing wiggle down. You can do a little bit of movement from side to side. We don't want to wrestle, and then you drop your hips again. So whatever you need. So we're going to use these amazing circular mats that are really fun to open up the multidimensional space. You're going to walk your toes to the front. So we're going to use that to inform the movement. Okay, and then toes turn up 45 degrees. So not so wide, so walk more forward for me. Yeah, and then 45. There you go. Good. So if our feet are nice and wide, then we have the ability to shift from side to side. So we're going to enjoy all this space that we have today. Just allow yourselves to rock back and forth. We will sync up, but right now you can just have your own time to play. Now at the same time as pressing the forearms in strongly, what we want to do is keep the hips nice and heavy. We're just going to start out with some circles and some side to side. So notice that it's not our traditional linear side to side, it's back. And then let's go ahead and all bend the left knee. Let's meet over here. Now if you bring your feet wider, you can come into more of a lunge, right? So that's an option. But for now, we're just going to do these little semicircles and have some fun with it. So press back, and then over to the right, press back. Just getting used to the swing. You guys are all using the swing, right? Pretty regularly? Sometimes, okay, we'll start fresh. Okay, so notice how the swing has started to ride up. So go ahead and press straight back. Give it a little wiggle. Bring it down nice and low. And then see if you can hook it in. Okay?
And what about keeping it so it's not bunched up and becomes slicing?
Well, we do want it to bunch up. So what you're going to do is use your forearms to press this down to there. There you go. Now use your forearms, keep pressing in, and then come let's push straight back. Yeah. So once you get your forearms, so once you get this movement, and then the pubic bone is tucked down the other way, like that. Perfect. The swings will hold you. So yeah. And it's going to stretch up because these swings are just fresh out of the washer and dryer. But can you feel how it kind of locks it in? So you drop your weight and then you press your forearms. And it's the same when we go upside down. We're going to create a lock with our legs, but we're locking with our arms. And now the pubic bone tends to tuck up. For most people with lower back pain, you want to deepen into the hip flexors, turn your pubic bone down and under, so that way the lower back can start to relax and lengthen. Good. So you have two opposing motions. So the top of the belly button is pulling up, bottom of the belly button is pulling down. And we're going to keep that nice long front of the spine openness that's really counterbalancing all that sitting we're doing. Now it's going to be a nice warm day in San Rafael. If anybody needs the air on, we can go ahead and turn that on here and there. Otherwise we're just going to keep it on, okay? So the other movement I like to do is just shimmy. So we're just going to let the hips rock from side to side. See if you can keep the pelvis heavy, right? Yeah. And then we're just going to let one knee come forward, one knee come back. See if you can get that movement. There you go. Drop your weight all the way, Kristen. Sit down all the way. There you go. Great. So that should start to loosen up the pelvis. That should start to feel really good. Does that feel good? Yeah. So it's almost like a belly dancing move. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and take pressure off the armpits. We're going to regularly come into a supported back bend. Open your arms wide, palms towards the sky, and shake it out for some jazz hands. Shake, shake, shake. And now, arms overhead, big supported back bend. Then you're going to come into chillaxed arms. Clasp the fingers. bend the elbows, let the elbows flare out wide, support the back of the head. So this is called chillaxin arms, and we're just going to gently rock from side to side. Now in this position, you're going to go ahead and let the heart point towards the sky, and then the gaze is almost back behind you. So you're pulling on the back of the neck, creating space for the cervical spine, and then you're just rocking from side to side. However, as the sun continues to move, you're welcome to slide over to this other swing. Okay, so anytime you feel like that's too much direct sunlight, we'll switch it up. It's no problem. Really nice. So from this position, we're going to come to neutral. Let's go ahead and bend the right knee and bring the right elbow towards the right knee. Stretch the whole side body. We keep pressing back, and then come to neutral. And back again. Take a nice big inhale, and then exhale, bend the left knee. Left elbow comes towards the knee. And we're just going to rock back and forth. I call this sweeping willow, so we're going to bend the right knee, come all the way over. Left knee, come all the way over. And just feel like you can lean back into the swing supporting you. Open up the whole front of the spine. Elbows flare out wide. A nice big stretch through the whole side body. Our feet are grounding down with a nice strong foundation. Beautiful, guys. Just take a moment and let that feel good. So this is going to be the flow, the pace of today. Nice and mellow. But we are going to keep building upon the practice. So towards the end of the sequence, you'll notice that it gets more challenging. But really today, let's stay in our mellow zone and do some restorative, some therapeutics. So you can really feel how this is beneficial for opening the heart. Go ahead and extend the arms overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale, arms come wide. And then inhale, forearm press. So that's going to be our main sequence for this backbends. Doesn't that feel good? And then you want to keep that hook, right? So go ahead and hip the swing a little bit lower. You can just press back. Yeah. Good. And then hook, and then sit. Yeah, otherwise your underarms will start talking to you pretty soon. We are going to switch it up though. We're going to hang by our hip flexors, and then we're going to hang by our upper body again. Okay, so backbends and inversions. Tomorrow is mostly inversions, but we'll get into some inversions today too. Okay, so just rock a little bit. Let your body kind of relax. Can you feel your lower back starting to drop? So it takes a while for the body to get the cue and start to hang. So we're not used to hanging by our armpits. It's been a long time since we were practicing motions. So go ahead and heel toe the feet together, keep the legs straight. You're going to push the hips up towards the sky. Let's go ahead and pick the left knee up. We're going to roll onto the outer edge of the right and step as high as we can. So it's okay to step by the knee, but if you can pull the foot up towards the hip and create a nice right angle between the hip and the knee, and then the knee and the ankle, that would be great. Okay, walk a little bit further up. There you go. Pull and then flex. Right toes back. Push your arms into the swing and twist. So you're looking back over your left shoulder, the other left. the other left. This way. There we go. There we go. And so we're bringing up the spine in two different directions. Our gaze goes away from our knee. Drop the hips, that's the stretch. Okay? Inhale, just pulse, come on out. Exhale, draw back in. Do that a few times. Inhale, lift, and then exhale, lower. There we go. So stay there for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the hip in line with the body. You can step up a little bit more. There we go. So we inhale and come up, and then you exhale and you just drop straight down. And then you'll feel this amazing side body stretch. That looks great. Does it feel okay?
Yeah, it gives me more like a psoas stretch.
Yeah. It's so amazing. And so we want to drop into it. So go ahead and inhale and lift. Do that a few times. Exhale, just lower into it. Really